So the NDA has finally been lifted. Now I can give you an honest review of the new Skate game. Now, I have played some of the earliest playtests I've seen when the game was at its worst, when it was just a textureless mess. So I'll be honest, initially I did not expect anything good. I'm not gonna lie. And well, now that the game is somewhat complete, well, kinda, not really. But there's a lot more things to do compared to the earlier playtest, and I think now is a good time to give my fair and honest opinion on the new Skate game. Now, I want to put it out here. Me and the we've not had the greatest of relationships. We haven't always seen eye to eye. Don't think this is some sponsored bullshit that, oh, the game is so good. This is all my opinion. First things first, let's talk about the map. Oh, fucking hell. I'm a bit rusty at this shit. According to the roadmap, every season there will be new skatable areas, which means this map is going to either expand or there's going to be map changes to places that are already in the game, which I've already witnessed, because one of my favorite spots in the earlier playtest was the church, because you could gap from the parking lot right into a spiral ramp through the window. In the early access version, it got replaced by a platform. Full circle, why the fuck would you do this? Why? Now, the map we currently have is a big city with many skate parks and skate spots, which supports the different playstyles like Hall of Meat, realistic, mega ramps, and massive gaps. Overall, it's a solid map. Yeah, it's pretty solid. However, in my opinion, it just doesn't have the same aesthetic as the downtown district. In Skate 3, there was roads that you could ramp off into lower parts of the map, and overall, it felt like it had more depth to it. There are many skate parks in the game that are located on top of buildings. These are mostly the mega ramps, which I think Full Circle might have got inspiration from tricklining here. The only critique I have with these parks is that they're very short. And yes, I've seen the clips of people flying from the top of a building into lower ramps, which is really cool, but that's not a part of the skate park. When it comes to street skating, the spots in the city are endless. Even as someone who tricklined, I do have a lot of fun just skating around, finding spots, and playing the game as if I was Night Speed.
What is up, guys? Welcome back.
Spots are everywhere, literally everywhere. The map is full, every corner, every alleyway, every building, except this one. Now, let's talk about the gameplay. This is probably the most important factor of the game. If Full Circle mess this up, then the game is done. I can safely announce that this game feels smooth, and it feels like a skate game. Well, that's if you play on experience mode, as the veterans like myself play on. No, not classic mode. I don't know why they'd call it classic mode if it's not classic mode. Great game design. One thing I really like about this game is how they've implemented customization. You can now adjust certain aspects of the game to your playstyle, which is genius. So now I can just adjust the settings and I can trickline. Trickline is gone, guys. Trickline has been vaulted, patched, thrown away. Burnt to a crisp, you messy clips or whatever, but it's a fraction of what it once used to be. And as someone who was considered a good trickliner, I'm not gonna lie, I just don't care. Yes, I'm not gonna lie, let's be real, we all knew tricklining was not gonna be the same as it was in Skate 3. With that being said, I think there's a lot of potential for this new playstyle, a new unrealistic but fun way of playing the game. But it will take some time and will need a lot of work, just like we had to do with Skate 3 tricklining. One slight little nitpick that I have with this game is that whenever I'm in a challenge, I can't adjust my skater settings. This can get really annoying. Let's say, for example, I was to play the most realistic skating possible and I had all the helping settings turned off. Whenever I go to do a crazy mega ramp challenge, I can't do it. And then I have to quit the whole challenge, change my settings, go back to the challenge and try again. It's just a very annoying but subtle thing that happens in the game. Now, there's one major thing that needs to be fixed in this game, and that is vert skating. It is practically useless in this game. And skate parks with large ramps and potential for large gaps, the vert needs to be adjusted, because right now you just lose so much momentum when going up a ramp, even if you pump. And yes, I've adjusted my settings, so hypothetically speaking, I should be getting the most amount of speed when going up a ramp, but it's just so disappointing. One thing I like about this game though is the grinds. I don't know how to describe it. Full Circle nailed it with the grind system in this game. Comparing to other skate sims like Session or Skater XL, which also have really satisfying grinds, Full Circle just did it the best from what I've seen. And I've played those games. There's something about the grinds in this game that are so buttery and just so... oh. Now one thing we have to talk about is the variation of tricks. Well, the lack of actually. Dark catches were vaulted, but they're getting re-added in Season 3! Wait, hold on a minute. I gotta wait till next year to do a dark catch, which was already in Skate 3? Well, to be fair, dark catches were quite buggy in Skate 3, so you know what? I'll give Full Circle a benefit of the doubt. They're just trying to polish it just like the rest of the game. Hold up, I'm playing peak. Oh. Grab tricks are quite annoying. They aren't as responsive as they used to be, and you have to be one lucky man to pull off a rocket air. Hey you. Do you want the Founders Pack? But $39.99 is too expensive? Well, I got news for you because it is on deal right now. Instead of $39.99, it's $39.99! So grab your parents' credit card because this price is a steal! One thing we have to talk about is microtransactions. See, this is where we get into deep water here. I can feel it at my neck already. But yes, microtransactions are very much in the game. But just like most games, it's merely cosmetic. There's no pet advantages, which is good. But compared to other skate games, it's very different. Especially with the lack of clothing in the game. Everything you unlock is through leveling up or through loot crates. And I mean literally everything. Gestures, decks, grip tapes, stickers, and even socks. Like, look at this. These are bright neon socks. What the f*** is this? Now, these are all unlocked through the loot crates, which give you an incentive to grind the game. But that leads us to our next topic. Challenges. This is where it starts to go downhill for Skate. The challenges in this game so far are extremely repetitive. If I have to collect another bearing, I might just go insane. Now, the Hall of Meat challenges aren't the best, especially when you compare it to what we had. And there's plenty of fan favorite game modes which has been left out, such as death races, spot battles, 1-up, and even Skate. Now, yes, they are rumored to come into the game in Season 3! Now, there are some returning Skate characters such as Shingo and Slappy, and all I'm going to say is that they are very corporate. They're very corporate.
This here is a sweet ledge, or a high mani pad, depending on how you look at it. Let's start simple and just have you drop off the ledge to make.
With all due respect, they have absolutely no life to them. Now, I understand if getting pro skaters to voice act might be difficult, especially in 2025 where skate is nowhere near as popular as it once was. Now, the city actually feels quite barren and lifeless without small cutscenes like we had in the other games. It's a small detail, but it made the other games feel finished. Now, before you comment, ZYLORE, this game's its own separate game, it's not related to the trilogy, then with all due respect, you're completely wrong. If the developers have confused you by saying this, because they have said this, then it's just an excuse for the extreme differences between the games. But the more you play the new Skate, you'll realize how much of the old games they tried to fit into this game. The Founders Pack, it includes 3 t-shirts with just the Skate covers printed onto them. It also includes Meat Man from Skate 3. Not only that, but loads of the cosmetics that you unlock include the logo. They've clearly tried to tie this game in with the old Skate games. So whether you like it or not, this game is a part of that franchise. And it is very much Skate 4, or the 4th installment. Now personally, I think it's quite shady that they tried to cover it up by calling it its own game, when in reality, it's an open world, online watered version of Skate. Does this mean I dislike the game? No. But at this point in time, it's very early and very bland, with a lot of the fan favorite stuff coming later. Now, one thing I'd like to add is that I'm not sure how Full Circle will tackle their updates. I know that we'll get a new season, but what about during the seasons? Has it been confirmed that we'll get changes and updates during the season like many other live services? That, I don't know. But for now, I just can't wait for the tier 100 Iron Man skin to drop in the next Skate Pass.